Hi there, I'm Andy. Behind me is MLT 580. Nice motorhome, but in my opinion, inferior freshwater delivery system installed into it, and here's why. The main root of the problem, I think, is these Reich pumps that are submersible pumps down here in the freshwater tank. You can easily pull them out, and you can see the one I've got in here at the moment is 19 litres a minute flow rate, 1.4 bars of pressure. The most recent one that I had that's broken is this other Reich one, which is 25 litres a minute and 2.1 bars. But the main problem with this one was the impeller seems to have got a bit jammed up. I've freed it up a few times, poking it around the pencil, and it starts to run again, but then it eventually gives up again after a few times using it. So once the pump is activated, this pipe here goes off and feeds all the cold water taps, the shower inside the van, and it also goes into the hot water heater as well. So I've got through one of these pumps every year that we've owned this vehicle without fail. Sometimes it's been my own fault. The problem is they don't run dry, they break as soon as your water runs out, so that's cost me a few quid. And some other times they have just failed just through wear and tear, I think, like that last one. The other problem you can get is that because the pump is just hanging there in the water tank like this, these tubes come disconnected from the top here and they just drop off, and then obviously you think, why is my water not flowing? I can hear the pump running and everything, and that's why. So that's another right pain in the neck. But anyway, I'm fed up with these, they break too often. Two more problems with the freshwater system, I think, are that the pump is activated by micro switches in each of these taps here. Now these micro switches don't last forever either, so if one of your micro switches breaks in the tap, again you're left without water from that tap. So as well as the unreliability of this freshwater system, I think another drawback is that although those pumps say that they flow about 21 litres a minute or something stupid, in reality, with all the friction in the pipes and the pressure, the head pressure and everything, it's very much less than that. We'll time how long it takes to do half a litre. Okay. And you can see we're up to 200 millilitres, 300 millilitres, 400 millilitres, we're on nearly half a minute. Now we're up to 500. And we're talking about 28 seconds there. So in practice, we're getting about 1 litre a minute, which means your water lasts a long time anyway. I think the planning of this job has probably been the most time-consuming thing, and then trying to source all the components has taken quite a lot of hassle really. But I've managed to get all the electrical components I need from 12 Volt Planet, and it makes it a lot easier if you can get all the stuff from the same place. So here's the list that I bought from 12 Volt Planet, and basically I've got a 3mm 2-core wire to go from the battery to the pump. It has to be that thick so you don't get a voltage drop. I've got these connectors that go on the battery. I've got these spade connectors which are specially made to go onto the actual fuse, and this fuse here should clip onto the bank of fuses that I've already got on the Hymer. And then at the back of the vehicle, then I've got this rather nice looking switch so that I can turn the pump off if I need to when it's stood over winter or parked up for a few days. As far as the plumbing components are concerned, I got a new cap for the top of the water tank, and I got this from Leisure Shop Direct, and it was only about £10 or something, and that compares to like 20 or 30 pounds if you get a Hymer one from elsewhere. The good thing about this one is it's only got one outlet, so it makes it simpler, and it also means that I'll better change the new pump with the old pump with less hassle. All the rest of the plumbing associated components came from Grasshopper Leisure. I think they also trade under the name of Rainbow Conversions Limited. So we've got the cap here, we've got 10mm pipe that goes on to that, and then 10mm pipe needs to be adapted to go onto the filter to stop any mucky stuff being drawn into the pump. Need an adapter from 10 to 12mm diameter to fit onto that. This then screws directly onto the SureFlow pump like that, and then on the other side of the SureFlow pump there's a connector for more pipe, and then that then goes on to this, and then this bit then can be connected onto some more pipe. So hopefully all that lot's going to fit together. I know there's going to be a few snags on the way, like threading the wire through and probably finding enough space for the pump and the pressure reservoir, but we'll see how that goes. So first thing to do in this installation job for me was to disconnect the existing water pump. I've got it wired in with these Wago connectors, which cost a lot of money, but they're so convenient. So we disconnect the electrics off the pump, and then the next thing would be you've got to disconnect the two pipes that come out the tank. The easiest way of disconnecting the water is first of all take the blue caps off by removing the little grey collar there, pull that out, and then squeeze the bottom bit to the top bit, and they easily pull off. If you've got this grey bit left in there, then that it will not pull off. That grey book puts a little spring in there which goes around the pipe and keeps it in place. So you have to take the grey bit off, and then you have to push this bottom bit backwards like that. And sometimes if there's not much space underneath it, you can put this little grey clip in there as a spacer, maybe even another grey clip, and keeps it pressed up, and then it'll easily pull off. It's easier to do it this way round than pulling off the pipe at this end first. To get the cold water pipe off, you have to get a pair of pliers on that bit there and the bit where my thumb is, and squeeze it together, because this is really tightly sprung on the pipe. It just goes on like that, pinch it together, and then it's loose and it slides over the pipe easily, and then you can just pull the pipe off the edge of the blue fitting. Initially I was worried about how I was going to get all the wiring and plumbing and pump in here, but on this MLT 580, and probably the same on the 570, this cupboard here is all blanked off. But if you take the caps off here and take these little screws out, take the cover off, flipping heck, there's a whole load of wasted space in here. So I'm really going to concentrate on trying to take advantage of this. So this has all gone in here very nicely. I've got the 10mm pipe with the adapter going up to the 12mm pipe here, connected to the filter, which is screwed in to the pump. The pump can be put at any angle except for upside down. I've drilled a hole through here. I've now installed the accumulator in position by screwing it on the back here. It's good access to the valve at the top if we ever need to increase the pressure. And the water flows past the accumulator, down the blue pipe, through into here, where it can now be attached with a reducing connector to the standard system. I've now also connected the positive and negative wires, and I've got the switch installed up here. The wires go into the back of it, and then there's the 3A cable that then goes under the floor down through here, then this way underneath the shower room through this hatch here. It goes underneath the shower, and then emerges underneath the dining area seat, goes down through here, down to the batteries. So here it is in the battery compartment, all ready to connect up to the battery. It was pretty easy to route it through there. I just started off at the battery end. I used this old bit of coat hanger wire and then tied this bit of washing line to the end of it with some tape and everything and poked it through, and it wasn't too much of a problem at all with two people. I've mounted a 5 amp fuse just in here, just below some other fuses. There's only one snag that I've got to rectify in the plumbing department here. These two white pipes, I thought they were both cold water feeds, one to the main system and one off to the right. I thought that went to the shower, but that's actually the breather, so I've got to disconnect that and put that right. Now I've got the breather and the cold water feed supply all separated, and that's all going off into the water heater and fresh water taps through there. It's a big moment to turn on. There's my switch up here. Hope it's not a big bang. Oh, it's running. Can't see any water pouring out anywhere. See if the water comes through. Nothing coming out here yet. Oh, that's the cold. I think the hot's just taking a little bit of time to fill up in the heater, but it's coming through. That's the hot in the kitchen. Seems to be the cold in the kitchen. The pump stopped working. Shut off and got up to pressure. Let's see if the shower works. Yep, that's cold water from the shower. Pump's come back on. So this is the all-important test now to see how fast the new pump is going to fill up the 500 millilitres of water. So start. Now, well, that's 12 seconds there, so that is probably twice as fast as it was. Happy days. Now, as if the high pressure taps weren't enough of a thrill for me, just look at what's happened to the toilet. That's the sog that we can hear there. We're going to press the button to flush it. Oh my goodness, it's like a real flush. That is about 5 times the pressure of what it used to be. Well, I'm super happy with the way this has turned out. Obviously I've got all the water pressure I need. The reliability situation has yet to be tested to the max, but I'll give you any updates in the future. So thanks very much for watching.